are two questions. We will discuss the domain and range for both the questions, both the parts. So let's have a discussion. The first question is, okay, let's discuss the easy question first. This is my easy question, that inside the square root, we have 16 minus x square. We know that when we are discussing about the domain and range, we will talk under the real numbers only. Means we will get the input and output both as a real number. Real number means which are the numbers which are on the x-axis, right? Positive, negative, fraction, decimal, and so on. But we don't want the numbers which are having the negative sign inside the square root. We don't want that. So obviously, you know very well, you can put any value in the place of x as an input, 1, 2, 3, 4, half, 1.2, 0, anything. But some of the values gives me a negative value. Let's say, suppose I'm putting 5 as the input, right? So 5 square is 25 and 16 minus 25 is 9, right? Negative 9. So negative 9 will not work. So I have to take those values of x which gives me the positive value or 0. So I know that when I put x is equals to 4, it gives me 4 square is 16 and 16 minus 16 is 0. So I'll get a 0 value. When I'm putting x is equals to 3, I'm getting 16 minus 9, which is how much? I think 7, right? When I'm putting x is equals to 2, it gives me 12 because 4 minus 16 minus 4 is 12. When I'm putting x is equals to 1, I am getting as 15, the square root 15, right? Square root 12, square root 7, and this 0. Now, when I'm putting 0, I got 4, right? I got 4 because square root of 16 is 4. Similarly, when I'm putting negative values of these parts also, when I'm putting negative 4, when I'm putting negative 3, when I'm putting negative 2, when I'm putting negative 1, and 0 does not have any negative, positive, all these values give me the positive value inside the square root. So it means my domain for this question means my input for this question is from negative 4 to 4 only, correct? Negative 4 to 4, because after that and before that I can't take because it gives me a negative value inside the square root, which is not a real number. So this is my domain. Now, what about the range? I know that I will get the minimum value as 0 because square root something means you will get 1 point something, 2 point something, 3 point something, but the maximum value that you are getting is 4 only, right? So my range is from 0 to 4. I am getting 0 also, I am getting 4 also. Why we are not using the open bracket? Because I know my minimum value also and I know my maximum value also. When you know your minimum value, you are using the square root because 0 is coming. If 0 is not coming, the first value is coming, like say 0.2 or 0.3, then we will use this one, open bracket, because we don't know the minimum value. What is that? But right now I know I'm getting exact 0 when I'm putting 4. So I'm using the square bracket. So this is for this question. Now let's have a discussion about the second question, the question of modulus. How you define modulus? Modulus will be defined into two parts. First of all, this is modulus. Modulus says that this value become negative when you are taking the input less than 0. But if you are taking input greater than equals to 0, your value will be positive. It will be positive. Now, you can take any value except x is equals to 4. You can't take x is equals to 4. Or you can, if you take, because you are getting 0 over 0, that is 1 only, right? So you can take 4 also, no problem. Okay, if I am taking x is equals to 1 and x is equals to 1 is greater than 0, it means my value will of the numerator will be positive, and here also I am taking positive. So x minus 1 minus 4 is what? Minus 5, minus 3, sorry, and here also minus 3, that will be 1. If I am taking a value, let's say I'm taking a negative value, let's say I'm taking minus 1. So minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. Similarly, and it is less than 0. So this value will be negative. And I am getting negative 5 in denominator also, because minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. This will cancel out. I am getting minus 1. Every time, either you are putting, when you are putting a negative value less than 0, you are getting your output as 1, negative 1. If you are putting a positive value more than 4, you are getting the maximum value as 1. So this is your range. It's very simple. And the domain could be any number. Domain could be any number. Either you are taking 4 also, then also you are getting 0 over 0, which is 1, right? So 4 also, if you can take it, 0 over 0 and 0, 0. 0 over 0 is 1. So yeah, this is my range for this question. As simple as that, right?